What's up, guys? Today we are going to solo King's Fault. No, the fuck we're not. I'm crazy, not insane. First of all, let me apologize for the shitty audio. If I in fact had an endorsement from Blue, I would lose it in about a minute, because fuck Blue Yeti, man. I've had that mic for roughly 3 months. Sounded fantastic. That's what we did all our big production videos on, and that thing already took a shit. So right now I am stuck with this skull candy headset with the little dangling mic and all the bullshit. But multiple folks have asked us about our strategy in doing the raid, and because the guys work so hard to form their strategy, we always stay pretty tight-lipped about it. But seeing that King's Fall is winding down now, and I know there's still a lot of folks that have not completed hard mode or even Oryx challenge, we decided within the crew, the Destined Knights and myself, Baltimore dude, to go ahead and give you guys a walkthrough of how we do the raid. And you will see many things we do that are just like every other raider does them. And then you'll see things that are kind of our own personal touch, and most importantly, little tips and tricks we use throughout the raid that has helped make us enormously successful in the raid. And I do not say that with an arrogant, pompous attitude. We've been very fortunate to win as much as we have, because we have a phenomenal crew around us, and it's no one person that makes that happen. It is the collective sacrifice and dedication of the members that make this crew thrive and win so much. So, without any more babble, let's go ahead and talk about the raid. I'm going to show you hard mode, the way we run hard mode, because we formed our hard mode strategy so when we got to Oryx, only one single thing changes from what we're used to doing at Oryx, and we found that incredibly helpful because we're pretty much doing it every week. So when Oryx challenge rolls around, only one thing changes and it's business as usual. So first, let's talk about attitude when you come into the raid. Don't come into the raid with a grumpy ass attitude, when watching the clock on the wall and fucking thinking this guy's the weak link. Don't come in with a bad attitude right from jump. You come in and understand that you win together, you lose together. Say player A screws up and he gets killed, player B decides to throw him under the bus. Well, the next wipe might be player B's fault. So you stick together and you take care of each other. And everybody has a role to play. They have duties to fulfill. And when you're done those duties, you should always help out a teammate. See if you can kill a knight for them or take out some ads for them. Spin around and help out your teammates. In King's Fall, it's very methodical. It's very ABC, do these things in particular order and keep your timing on point. That's really the heart and soul of the raid. So let's talk about roles. What roles each person plays in the raid. You got your plate men. Those are the guys that hold the plates. These two and the two up front. And you've got your juice runner. Most people call it the aura. We, for some reason, decided to call it the juice. Thanks, Shadow, for that. But we've got the juice that we run up top. And you always want to be very, very aware of the juice, even though your juice runner should call out when they have it and say, I have the juice. Keep your peeps open for it anyway, so you too know when he has it, so you can flee your plate and get into position to take the next step. Now, one thing we do that well, you know what? Let's not start with that. Let's start with plates. Let's start at the most basic fundamental. Do I have a sniper? I do not. We're gonna pretend the Lord of Wolves is a sniper. Okay, first of all, and I'll explain to you why in a few minutes, but you don't shoot at your ogre. The reason we developed this strategy this way is it draws too much attention to you. You take too damn much fire, and it's just really, really hectic. Ooh, Nova Bomb, let's go. It's just really hectic if you shoot at your own ogre. So unless you're trying to clutch it because somebody died, you should not be shooting at your own ogre. You want to just kind of squat down, stay near the back of your plate, and as a plate holder, you have one responsibility. Stay on this plate until the juice runner has the aura, and kill your knight. Your knight is always going to spawn opposite of you. On this plate, he would spawn right over there. I wish I could zoom in more. But you'd see him stick his ugly ass out from behind that little platform, and boom, boom, you snipe your knight and take it out. And once you've done that, just take a quick look behind you and make sure your buddy over on this plate got his knight down. And once the guy has the juice, then you're gonna bam, head into the middle. Now I'm gonna pause right here and tell you another role that we have people play within the raid. We always have at least one Titan in the raid. We never do one without one Titan. That Titan is what we call our top runner. He will be up on top of one of these two plates at all times, running the Blessings of Light bubble. As you know, only 3 people have to hold a plate. So let's assume that the spark was right there over top of this plate. Well, that guy then becomes the floater, and he don't have to hold a plate because the spark is there. So the floater would then come up with the Titan who has Blessings of Light pitched, and you want to use Touch of Malice. And I know it's not one of those you must have this weapon to participate, but like back during the Galahorn days, nothing like that. Here's the thing, guys. Galahorn was RNG. You had no control over gaining that weapon or not gaining it. The Touch of Malice is a guaranteed weapon. If you are in hard mode raid or you are doing Oryx challenge, then you should have already beaten the normal raid. So go out and get your Touch of Malice. Can you do it without it? Absolutely. But it's far, far, far easier if you also have a Touch of Malice with the other guys. So the Titan will be up here. He's got Blessings of Light, and he's got the Touch of Malice, so you just dip into blessings. You dip into Blessings of Light, and the Titan and the floater will step out and use the final bullet in the Touch of Malice, which deals, I think, 6 times extra damage. And of course, you never run out of ammo. So let's assume for a moment Oryx is over there, and he has slammed this plate. When he slams that plate, your Titan is going to pop his bubble, and you're going to step out, and your ogre is going to come up, and you guys just bam, 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 rail the shit out of him till he's dead. And then you just go to each corner and kill all the ogres. Just you and the floater and the Titan. I'm saying you, but you might not be the floater on any given run. But whoever the floater is, he's up here with the Titan, and it's the floater and Titan's responsibility to do a few things. It's up to you guys to kill all the ogres, and to kill, well, we're assuming this is the plate that the floater came from, so the floater's knight would be over here. So at that point, it would be up to the Titan and the floater to take out the floater's knight, which would pop out of that puddle right there. So you take out their knight, and also keep your ears and eyes peeled at the other plates, just in case one of the guys is kind of losing control of their knight, because with Blessings of Light and a Touch of Malice, really by the time you kill an ogre, all it's done is taken the blessing shield off of your health bar. You haven't given any health at all, and then you can dip right back into the bubble and re-bless yourself and have an over shield again. Oh, Nova Bomb, let's go. And So once you have taken down all the ogres, you have taken down the floater's knight, and the guys on the plate also, y'all are responsible if you're losing control of your knight. Let's just say, sorry DT, you're a very good player, but I'm using you as an example. Let's say DT's losing his knight. He would say, DT, losing my knight. And you want to call it out fast. And we know DT's on this plate right here. And we know his knight's coming from right there. So the Titan and the floater, having fulfilled all of their duties, can help out with that knight because they're above everything. And the knight really can't get behind many structures that the two guys up here can't get him. So they would quickly take him out. And like I said, we're assuming Oryx is on this side. So it's at this point, while this is going on, of course, the Juice Runner will have dropped down there-ish, and he will yank the brand off of the vessel. Now, this is another thing we do a bit different. We always like to have our Juice Runner carrying a raise lighter, exotic sword, because with 2 uppercuts it kills the vessel. So we make the Juice Runner pretty much entirely responsible for the vessel, and he yanks the brand off him, uppercuts him 2 times, bam, he heads to the middle. And the Juice Runner always wants to try to stay as center as possible so everybody can get back to the bubble. Well, I'm saying bubble, but more accurately the aura, because the Juice Runner would at this point be in the middle. Everybody would drop down, everyone would be in from their plates by now, and you just step out, nail Oryx. And if you take notice, he has a little black spot in the center of his white chest. We call it his nipple because we're filthy pigs, but that's a really good marker to set your aim at and just unload on him. You want to flinch him, and now it's bomb time. Everybody's going to go to their bombs, and you want to get right outside of them, jump to them. And I'm going to teach you a couple of things here. Number 1, somebody designate whoever you want to do a count, a 3, 2, 1, because it's very important that you guys stay in sync on the bombs. It's incredibly important. So have someone count 3, 2, and on 1, not after 1, but on 1, you want to jump in the puddle. Now, of course, you know the bomb will be over the puddle because the Titan and the floater can kill the ogres so quickly from up top. So the bombs are always going to be perfectly laid right in that puddle. But you know how you see that black aura that runs around the bomb? You want to stay just outside of that when you're waiting to take your bomb, and stay moving a little bit. Make sure you don't hit that aura, but never be a still target for any ads that may be around. So it's 3, 2, and on 1 you jump in your bomb, and then you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and head back. Don't always count on the bottom left hand of your screen when it says you've detonated the bomb, because sometimes it takes a shit and it's not correct. So before we go back to the middle, I want to show you a couple of tricks while you're taking bombs. Now, I've got a sword on, but my sword don't even have ammo. I've got a hilt. That's what the fuck I've got. I've got a hilt, man. Let's go. So I want to show you a couple of tricks about taking the bombs, because often there's, I'm going to actually go to a gun so I can point. Often there's ads and they typically seem to be right there. So load up your machine gun, your LMG, when you are standing in the bomb, and have it ready to fend off any ads that may be there. And stay mobile in your bomb. Don't just stand there again and be a still target. Just kind of do some figure eights and move around. And I'll tell you a little known secret, because the aura extends out so far. Now make very, very certain you don't step outside the aura, but you actually can dip to the right a little bit and use this platform right here as some cover. So that kind of would eliminate any ads right over there, and you would only have to deal with what's right there. But have your machine gun at the ready, use the podium for cover, listen for the 5 count, then you bam, head back to the middle, get inside the aura. Now when you're headed to the aura, haul ass to that thing, because remember, you got to get in there in time. So just run and slide, and if you're a hunter, just shade step into it, but get back in it quick. And then just put some fire on Oryx, because he's an absolute asshole. And that is pretty much the first phase of the raid. One thing I should have mentioned on the front end, I forgot to, and God, I hope I don't set Oryx off, but if you have a hunter, and you should, because it's nice to have a good mix of characters in every raid, when you touch the spark and you first start the raid, have your hunter already supered with a tether. Have him stand either on this or that right there, don't really matter. Nobody shoot the ads that show up there and over there. Let them all make their way to the middle and congregate, and then you'll have your hunter jump up and tether them, and then you want to jump back and shoot them all, because it's going to make a nice big pool of orbs there for other teammates to use for their supers. So that is the first fundamentals of the raid, and after that, it's pretty much going to be rinse and repeat. Your Titan's going to go back up top, and of course the Titan will always be opposite of Oryx. If Oryx is on that side when he slams, Titan's over here. If Oryx is over here, then Titan's over there. So assuming Oryx is over there now, Titan's over here, and let's assume this guy has the spark over his plate now, and he's now the floater. Always communicate and help them out, and keep an eye on the spark just in case somebody missed it, and say, hey, so and so, you're the floater, and they can get up top as quickly as possible with the Titan to fulfill those duties. So that pretty much wraps up the first rotation of how we do the raid. Bombs, good lord, I am so forgetful. Like, I really should make a list. There's dudes like Dado that have like perfectly laid out lists and statistics, and everything's just so. Then there's me. I don't have a script, nothing. I just bam off the top of my head. Should have mentioned this earlier, because your bombs are going to come after the first rotation. Well, actually, this is not a terrible time. So there's 3 ways to run the bombs. I'm going to show you all 3 of them. If you're a plate holder, then you just simply run around your plate. Don't do no fancy shit. Don't fucking hop around it and soar around it and all that bullshit, because you'll do stuff like that. Just keep running around your plate. That's all you need to do during the bomb phase. Now that is for plate holders. Usually there's a guy running the middle. Often that is the juice runner that will run the middle. Now there's one tip I want to give you about running the middle. There's a lot of people, and we lost a lot of lives this way until we figured out what they were doing wrong. When people get to these steps, sometimes they just kind of want to stop here and turn around and go back. But you see how my warlock didn't want to take off running? Sometimes it's going to do that, and you're going to get hit by the bomb while you're stopped here. So what you want to do is keep a fluid movement as you're coming in, both at these steps and at the other end of the path. So as you're approaching the steps, just cut right and make a big old circle around and keep on running, and you do that at both ends of the path. Now I'll show you the 3rd way to run bombs, and typically it is the Titan that runs the bombs this way, because he's the top runner. So what he's going to do is use these 2 plates to run from the bombs, and it's actually very effective. Now when you hop across from one to the other, I know all us Titan mainers like to do the Titan skate, but in this particular case you want to do a big arc and hop, because the longer you're in the air, the less time you're vulnerable to them bombs. And you just basically bam, hop, circle, hop, circle, hop, circle. You get the point. So that's how he's going to run the bombs. And those are the 3 ways we run the bombs, and we've been very successful in doing these things that way. So if you've done maximum damage to Oryx on the first pass, you will have just ran the bombs, and now it will be time to repeat that entire cycle I explained to you. So let's move on to the next step, assuming you've done the next cycle. So it's time for cycle 2 of the raid and taking your second set of bombs. Now I'm not going to run you through everything again because you repeat the process I just showed you, identical to what I just showed you. So you repeat that entire process, and if all goes well and you did all of the things I just previously showed you correctly, Oryx should hit half health. At that point, you're going to be seeing the shade. Oryx will head to the end of the pathway. He will throw up a giant black blight. Now, let me give you a couple of tips about the blight. Number 1, when you're up near it, don't get close to it because its death extends out further than its physical look. Like, you can be what you feel like is 3, 4, 5 feet away from touching it and it still kill you. So don't fuck around with the blight. And also Titans in the middle, please, for the love of God, don't melee stuff, because we have had a Titan get meleeed and shot all the way to the blight and killed. So you'll want to be cautious with that. Now you want to be cleaning the ads up as you head into the shade after you kill these knights. Of course, there's going to be one on each plate, so you want to take them guys out, and then it's going to be time to clean up the ads. I don't want to set this raid off, so I'm going to dip over hard now. And I set that sumbitch off. Did you see how far I was from that motherfucker and I set him off? Did I? Yeah. Alright, Works. I'm gonna kill him right now. Die, motherfucker, die. Oh, he didn't die. It didn't work out. Sorry, mama. I never meant to hurt you. I threw the Nova bomb, but he said fuck you, and I lost the raid. I'll never do that again. I probably will do that again. But at any rate, man, the blight's up. People are getting teleported in with the shade, the Echo, Dark Souls, Dickhead, whatever you want to call him. Now, typically, you'd want to run through this pathway right here. But since the rate, I think it fucking did it again. Dude, do you see how far I am from him? And it's setting it off. So, alright, we'll go around the back of the plate. Now, when the raid is actually in motion, you don't have to worry about that happening. So, that's an absolute non-issue while you're running the raid, but during this demonstration, it's a massive pain in my ass, man. So let's get back up there again. I'm going to go around the back of the plate. So, blight's up. People are starting to get teleported with the shade. So, you would want to run in there and there. 2 people, 1 on each side. I'm going to go around this back way so I don't set that damn raid off again, but I just showed you the path you would actually come in. So you want to come in here with a machine gun and try to clean up all the ads you can, because any ads you don't clean up here, they're going to teleport into that blight and they're going to be inside with the shadow, and your teammates inside are going to be trying to fight off ads and kill the shadow. So you just, until you're teleported, make sure you're outside killing ads and be very communicative with who's out here. Say 2 people still outside. I'm the last one out here. Then when you get teleported, say I'm the last one in, because when you're the last one in, he has to die really, really fast. And if you're lucky, you'll have another Titan in there. He'll have blessings of light up. You can ride that last touch of malice bullet and it just rocks the shit out of him. A good sniper can snipe at him with a black spindle or a 1,000-yard stare, whatever. And I don't mean to sound like, trust me, we're not one of them crews that must have touch of malice, must have black spindle, and must be 480 light. We're not like that. I simply tell you, these are guaranteed weapons you can get. So when people come into our crew, if they don't have them, we don't reject them because of it. We just go help them get it. So now you're teleported in with the Shadow. The Shadow has to die. We all know the number one worry about the Shadow is him slamming that damn sword and crushing everybody's skull. If you have a Warlock, it's always nice to have the Warlock just run in and melee him and draw the attention to him, because the Warlock has res on, and that kind of frees up your Hunters and Titans, and they can just run around and be a bit safer in the Warlock, even if he takes a death being blessed. Because let's be honest, no matter how much you're blessed, sometimes he'll still kill your ass when he slams you with that sword. So if you have a Warlock, have him try to sort of taunt the sword his way, because he can res up, and he'll res up outside and pop back in. Now, let me give you a tip about the Shade that has worked out really well for us. I've seen people do everything inside the Shade, man. I've seen them shade step, I've seen them put bones boots on and jump all over the place, I've seen every type of run away from the sword you can imagine. But the most simplistic thing that I've found effective is simply running the cloudy wall. Now, of course, you want to be careful not to run into him if he's still on the wall, but if you just press against that clouded wall and just run the circle, and if you're a Hunter, just do a couple tumbles. If you're a Titan, skate a little bit. If you're a Warlock, slide if you have to, but run that clouded circle, and 9 out of 10 times you're going to be safe coming out of there. Now let's assume for a moment somebody died in with the Shade. Let's just assume someone went down. Only one thing's going to change when you come out. You're going to lose your floater, and everybody has to take a plate. Titan will still go up top and do what he does, but now on your plate, being down one man, you also have to shoot at your ogre. That's not the ideal situation. That's not the way we design our strategy, but sometimes things happen. So if you get to that point, that's how you would handle that. If you lose someone, you just have your Titan still up top, and everybody will have to take a plate at that point and shoot at and help with their ogres. So that pretty much explains the entire strategy we use for hard mode. Everything's rinse and repeat. Other than that, that's everything we do, and you just continue to repeat that process until you've beaten them, and you run up in the middle and you shoot them in the chest, and then you collect the loot and you're like, hey, fuck you, Oryx, I done killed your whole damn family. Where's your grandmother at, bitch? So that's pretty much the way our hard mode strategy goes, and some of our little tips and tricks. I really think the heart and soul of our success, and we're approaching well over 400 King's Falls now, and I'm talking about clears, actually winning. And oh, this microphone. I really think the secret to our success is that there is no secret to our success. It's just all in the little things. Your communication has to be top tier. If you have to take a moment to reload, if you need a hand with your knight, if more ads popped up than you expected, or an acolyte eye is up and you're dealing with something else, communicate everything to your teammates. There aren't enough words in the dictionary for me to convey to you how important it is that your communication is top flight in this raid. Don't be the guy that's sitting back on a plate and you never hear him make a peep unless and until you talk to him. Of course, you don't all want to be talking at the same time. Work together and help each other. And like I said, always stay busy in this raid. It's a very chaotic raid, and there should never be a moment that you have just pure idle time, that you're just sitting around twiddling your dick. You should be doing something at all times. And as I previously mentioned, once you have fulfilled your duties, and spin around, see what's going on around you, and help guys out with what they're doing, because it never hurts to give someone a hand, because that's just the way you should do things. That's how you be a good teammate and help each other out and put a little insurance stamp on the raid, because you're communicating so well and you're helping each other out and you're working together as one unit with one goal, and nobody's throwing anybody under the bus. There's no general and somebody barking orders and being an ass with everyone. Work together. That is the heart and soul of it. So I think that the communication and the spirit of brotherhood in our crew, the way we run the Titan and the floater up top. But now a lot of people run a Titan up top, but they do no nights. So I think that's part of our brand, having the Titan and a floater up top, killing all the ogres, so it doesn't draw attention to the guys on the plates, and they simply snipe out their knights. And I think that's a really, really big piece of the success of our raids, and the little things like I was showing you over here with the bombs, just like moving around, having your machine gun loaded to protect yourself against ads, and using this podium if you can, and try to get a little more coverage from that. But like I said, make sure you do not step outside the aura. So I have given you pretty much all the details of how we do hard mode, and let me just wrap this part of the video by saying I'm doing this it's going to be a bit lengthy, but I would still call this a light walkthrough of doing Oryx, because in walking you through how we do it, I'm making some assumptions that you already have beaten at least normal mode, and you know the general mechanics of the raid, and we're not starting at I've never heard of King's Fall to I just beat Oryx. So I am making the assumption that you know the mechanics and you have raided before, and that's why it's going to be a lighter walkthrough. I'm really just showing you our process rather than teaching you every little move you should make. So the next thing we will move on to is what changes and how we approach challenge mode. Now, to be perfectly honest with you, like I said earlier in the video, only a single thing changes for our challenge mode. And trust me, we went through every possible strategy before we settled on this one. We've done no nights, back to killing nights, we've done bubbles up top, bubbles down the bottom, we've done more tethers, less tethers. We've done pretty much every strategy you can think of, and we were successful with pretty much all of them. But this is the one we settled on because, as I again mentioned previously, only a single thing changes when challenge mode rolls around. So when it's time to collect that mega loot at Oryx challenge, the guys are already used to running this strategy because they run it every week at Oryx. So only a single thing that we do is different. And that one thing is, we don't get the bombs in between. We don't go stand in the bombs, and we don't have to run around plates from the bombs or up top from the bombs Oryx puts out, and we don't go over and stand in ours. So you will get the shade every time. I've told you how to deal with the shade. Other than that, everything is the same. But I will tell you this, on Oryx challenge mode, timing's important throughout this entire raid. It's very much built on timing, communication, and do thing A, thing B, thing C, and do it in such and such time, and it's all about coordination and time. And so that's always important in this raid, but never so much as when you hit challenge mode. Now, as I said, on challenge mode, you will do everything I have previously showed you in this video, except you won't grab your bombs between each phase. You let them stack up until you reach the end and you have 16 bombs. Now, what you're going to want to do once you've gotten to the end, while you're standing in the middle, after you've flinched Oryx, your man with the aura is going to stay in the middle, and he should have a machine gun on cleaning up ads, and he can look up at his radar in the top left corner and see whether it's this side or this side that's infested with ads more, and use his machine gun, just kind of spray them down and clean it up as much as you can on each side to keep your bomb holder safe. So at that point, you've rattled Oryx. You have flinched him. The aura holder is cleaning ads up on each side. Everybody's going to run right outside the aura of their bomb. Like I said, bombs in a puddle. You know the aura runs in a bigger area. So you're going to stand right outside the aura, and there's essentially 3 checkpoints. When everybody gets in position, you call out ready, and you want to hear 4 readies. Ready, 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 ready. You want to hear everybody yell ready, and then you're going to 3, 2, and end the bombs on 1. Now at this point, the aura holder is the juice holder. Why am I saying aura all of a sudden? We always call it the juice. I guess I'm being proper. You know me. I'm such the goddamn motherfucking gentleman. Anyway, he's gonna do the 5 count at this point. He's just gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come on back, guys. And as quickly as you can, get your ass back to that aura. Turn around and, hell, we'll assume Oryx is over here. Shoot Oryx in the chest. And by then, everybody's bomb should have detonated, and detonated in coordination, because if somebody's too early or too late, it can muff the entire run and leave Oryx with about 1% health and make you want to shoot yourself in the face with buckshot. So it's very important that you do those 3 checkpoints, and I'll repeat them again just to be sure. Aura holder standing in the middle. He's using machine gun cleaning up ads on both sides to make you bomb holder safer. You get right outside your aura. Once you're ready, yell out ready. Once you hear 4 readies, whoever you assign to count will 3, 2, and on 1 getting your bombs. The aura holder in the middle. Juice holder, what is wrong with me? Guys aren't going to know what I'm talking about in the crew if I say aura. The juice holder is going to count you 1 to 5. And again, use your machine gun. Use whatever you have to, because this is your do or die moment on challenge mode. If you're a warlock and you go down, just pop up as fast as you can. It's not great, and there's a chance you'll fail, but if you come up really, really fast, you still likely can get your bombs. If you're a hunter, go invisible. If you're a titan, throw your bubble, because this is the make or break moment. So no reason to sit on supers and hold them, because it's either win now or it's a wipe. So don't forget the tips I gave you for holding bombs, because whether you're holding 4 of them or 1 of them, those things apply. Have your machine gun on. Use the podium for cover. Make sure you listen for your 1 to 5 count, and on 5, not before 5, not after 5, on 5, haul ass back to the middle and just light Oryx the fuck up. I forgot which side I said he was on, but anyway, just whale him in the stomach. Then again, you head to the end. Well, all the bombs should detonate by that point. And remind your teammates of things, because listen, we're all human and we forget things sometimes. So you just gotta kind of try to remember. So it don't hurt to help a teammate out and remind them of things such as making sure they're very much centered to these towers so the guys on this side and this side can safely get back to the aura. So at that point, all the bombs detonate. You look at Oryx's health, it should go down to 0. You run to the end, do the same thing you do on hard mode, unload everything you have in his stomach, and then 2 chests will pop up here. And since the April 12th update, man, you're gonna get the loot drop of your life. I promise you. If you've never done hard mode challenge, you can get up to 335 normal pieces, 335 hard mode, and you get your challenge mode drops. You just get mega loot from the drops at Oryx challenge. So I think that pretty much will conclude this video. My God, you guys have been asking me for quite some time to do this, and I was kind of trying to figure out the best way to do it and if we were gonna do it. So I think it went pretty well. I hope you guys get something positive out of it. I hope you were able to learn something from it, and I hope it benefits the squad you take to raid with. Most importantly, have patience. Be patient with one another and make sure all 6 fire team members are coming into the raid for the long haul, and you follow the steps I laid out for you, work together, and you will absolutely get it done. Don't underestimate yourself, Guardian, because I promise you, you can beat this raid on hard mode. You can beat it on challenge mode. Follow the steps I laid out, work together, and communicate impeccably with your fire team members, and you'll get it done, and you'll get all that great loot. Strikes are great right now, and challenge of elders is wonderful. I love all that stuff. I'm having a blast with it, but it still doesn't replace the loot that you bring out of the raid. If you add the raid on top of doing those things, you become super powered in Destiny and a true legend. So once again, I hope this has helped you guys out in some form or fashion. That is my only goal, that some of the folks I've seen in forums and received emails from and tweets and PSN messages that have fallen short of finishing hard mode or Oryx challenge, I hope this is enough to get you guys over the hump and help you get it done, and I hope it's beneficial to you. So I will just say thanks for watching, and don't forget to bang the subscribe button. Go on over to my website, www.baltimoredude.com. You can click on my Twitter from there, my YouTube, all my various social network sites, and all the other things I have going on. We got a lot of things coming in the future, and there'll be videos about that on the channel. So check us out over there, and until next time, I'm Baltimore Dude. Thanks for watching, guys. I truly appreciate you.